and welcome back. If you're new to my channel, my name is Julie and I'm the girl with a brush. Today I'm working on Junk Journal January's prompt for day 23, which is texture, and we're gonna work with modeling paste. So let's get started. I found this picture in a magazine and I thought it was really cool because there's snow and it looks textury just looking at it. And this is the next page where I am in my journal. I'm gonna grab my matte gel medium and I'm gonna glue this down. All right, I have my snowy scene down, and now I'm just gonna take a little bit of white acrylic. Kind of glue on that. I don't necessarily want it on that. And I'm gonna put a little white acrylic along these edges to blend a bit. And I'm going to put some up here by this tree. Because I have a quote, and I'm going to put my quote up here in a bit. So I want something up here that is lighter. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use modeling paste. So this is just Liquitex. You can use any modeling paste that you have. You can also, and you can see mine is brand new. You can also even do this with like heavy body acrylic, or I've seen people even use gesso, but a thicker product. And I'm going to use the modeling paste, and I have a stencil. Now, I'm going to push the paste through the stencil to create a textured snowflake. One of the things that I have to tell you is after you do this, you need to immediately clean your stencil and your palette knife, anything that you got the modeling paste on, because you don't want to ruin your stencils and your tools. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. And the first one I'm gonna do up here, where I want to put a quote up here in the corner, but I have like half a Christmas tree here where I pieced some things together, and because I want the Christmas tree to look like I meant to do it, I'm gonna start here. Now I'm gonna tell you that I might get some in those little holes around there. If you are really worried about getting it everywhere, including places that you don't want it, you can use some painter's tape or some washi tape to tape off your area. Okay, so there is one snowflake. And now I'm going to go to a different area because I am trying not, I don't want to stick my stencil back in that spot where I have a snowflake already, and I don't want to wear it, and there are lots of reasons, okay? So now what I'm gonna do is I am going to push this kind of up into here. I have a piece of paper kind of along my edge. I'm going to do this big one right here. Hopefully I've got you in the shot here. So, and I did not use a lot. Now the thing about this stencil is there are little parts. I don't know if you just saw that, but as I went over it, then they popped up. So what I am doing is I am putting it down, and I'm coming from the outside, and I'm going over it one time. I'm going to try to get a couple of these little holes. I'm trying not to go back and forth over it a bunch of times. That should be good. Let's lift it up. There we go. See how nice and thick that is? I think I want one more. I'm going to do this one down here. And I want to show you, like, I'm not using very much modeling paste. See how little I have? So you don't need a lot. And as I said, you can try this with gesso. You could try this with heavy body acrylic. It's kind of like frosting a cupcake, you know? Through a stencil. I don't know. So there we go. I would like to get a couple of these holes. That was kind of cool. Oh, I'll get the edge of that too because it's coming off the page. And I have a little more here. We'll see what we can do. All right, there we go. Now, it's very important that the stencil gets clean and dry, okay? So I'm gonna clean my stencil and I'll be right back. All right, so I dried this very carefully with my heat gun and it's crusty. It's crusty. And then what I decided was, since we're talking about texture, I got this little piece of lavender felt, okay? And I decided that since this is like a cute little busy street in town and it's really cold, you know how sometimes when you go out in the winter and you're walking around and you see that somebody lost their mittens. So I just made little mittens. That's what I'm doing. Little mitten. Or if you live in the United States, it's Michigan. People that live in Michigan will get the joke. Okay, so here's this little pair of mittens. And I think somebody left their scarf. And there they are. And try a big old mess. But here's the little scarf. And here are the little mittens. Now it's coming out. Sometimes you just gotta tell it who's boss. Yep, stuck. Okay, so now I have a scarf and mittens. The other thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this. This is a Stabilo Woody. I got glue on my hand. Pardon me while I just share that glue with my page. Okay, a Stabilo Woody. These are water-soluble crayons that are actually made for kids. And they're these big chunky things. They are fantastic. And you can use it like a crayon. You can put it on and use it and wet it and make it like a watercolor, or you can actually like dip it in water and write with it, or you can use a brush and brush the end. And what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to kind of rub over the edges of my texture and get a little color here. It's definitely texture-y. You can hear it. And I just thought this chili blue would be good to kind of hit the edges. I don't know. All right, I'm going to wet it a little bit just because I'm curious, and it's my journal and it doesn't matter. I don't know if it would like sit in the grooves. Kind of makes a blue snowflake. Well, that's kind of pretty. Ugly. One thing about these is if you put too much on, like see how blue that got? Now look, I just brushed off more and it brought the white back, and I think I like that better, and I like how the blue is sitting on the edges. So, you know, this is all about experimenting, right? Okay, so the other thing you can do is you can like blot this with a paper towel. Or if you don't have a paper towel in front of you because you forgot to grab one, you can just use your hand. And that's what I did. And so you can see how that's lifting some of that color because it's wet. And over here, it's spreading the color. So either way, we got something going on. All right. The last thing that I want to do is I found on the page across from the snow, I found a quote. And I want to put the quote here. There is freedom in contemplating nothing but a day spent in the snow. And I don't have the word in because it disappeared, so we'll make another one. And I'm going to use, if you watched one of my videos earlier this week, double stick tape is the supply of the week. I've been using so much double stick tape. So hopefully you're laughing with me by this time, but I'm serious. Look how fast. We're just going to roll through this and stick it on. And I put that little bit of acrylic paint there There we go. Modeling paste, some scrappy text, fuzzy yarn, and some felt, and even this lace edge. This kind of looks like snowflakes. I should have painted that white, but that's okay. A lot of texture on this page. I want to thank you for joining me as I create in my studio, and I'm putting the little label on here. If there was something that inspired you or you learned something, I hope you'll consider liking or subscribing, and hopefully you're gonna go and grab your brush and make your own page full of texture. Thanks for watching.